Oh, yeah, it's go time. Woohoo! What's going on, Bella?
Hey, how are you today?
Good, good. So, you ready to deep dive in today? I mean, we got a topic we got to talk about. But first off, you've been everywhere. I mean, you've been at Forbes, Fox News, NBC, you name it. You're there.
I like to get around. I like to talk to as many people as possible.
Love it. So, okay, so our subject today is one that's controversial, but I want to deep dive into it. So, I got to tell you, at the end of the day, hiring, is it bias or what? I mean, come on.
I mean, yeah, I definitely. It's biased against your negative thought process that you can't figure it out, or that nobody wants to hire, or no one wants to work, and everyone wants to ghost, and no one has a work ethic. But really, it's all they're all they're doing is just reflecting back to you the work that you haven't done yet. You know?
Well, you know what? We got to talk about this seriously because every time you go in for a hiring, and for me, the same thing happens to me all the time. Is like, I feel like this person's a fit. I feel like this person's going to crush it. I keep saying, I feel. I got to get that out of my head.
Yeah, and you can't operate that way because when you're operating off of hope and a prayer and your gut feeling, that's where the whole process just dissolves. And so what I see a lot of times is that people, they don't have an actual hiring structure. And if they do have a hiring structure, it's something that they copied off of someone else or someone told them they needed to do it. And they didn't really actually take the time. It's a sensitive process. It's like dating. Okay. And for some reason, they expect like just to follow like some generic script and then get someone. And that doesn't happen, especially with small business owners, because those mom and pop small business owners who maybe started their business from their kitchen table, right? They are the ones that, they're good at what they do. They're a good pet sitter. They're a good house cleaner. They're a good roof redesigner, whatever it might be, right? No one really sat them down and taught them HR because I mean, why would you? Right. And so we're trying to live off hope and a prayer, and we're trying to like ask people questions. And most of the time, those questions are based out of fear. So what I've done over the past, I don't know, 20 years is I've developed this jump hiring method. And it's this 10-step program where you have to go through it very sensitively. And it's based off of what you're looking for. What are your core beliefs? What kind of people do you want to attract? What kind of culture do you want to have other than hope and a prayer? Because that doesn't work. And the other big thing about, I think, the interview process, just like dating, it's not about me choosing you. It's about both of us wanting to create this together. And that's how you get people who are going to be advocates for your business and who are going to be with you for a long time because they know what they're hitching their wagon to and they're excited about it. But unfortunately, people don't treat this very sensitive hiring process like marketing, because it is marketing. And they don't teach it like a two-way street. It's always based out of fear and anxiety and like all these questions I should ask you. And at the end of the day, they still don't even know if they should hire this person because they have no standardized system for it that matters to them. So should I pause or should I keep going?
No, keep going. I love this. Go.
So the thing is that when you incorporate AI to this, when you create all of these steps, a lot of people would stop. They'd freeze. They would get information paralysis. They would be like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to ask here. And then they'd go to Google and then they'd find some questions and they'd take the questions from that person. With AI now, there's never been an easier time to create your hiring process. Because if you use AI in the proper way, which is a thought partner, not something you just outsource it to. You have to work together with it. You need the foundation of the AI. All of a sudden, the things that would paralyze you, they now no longer exist because AI helps push you over that edge with your own parachute, not some generic parachute of someone else. You see what I'm saying? What questions do you have from that?
No, I totally agree with all that there. You know what? And getting back to the first, like the dating thing. I mean, some people just interview somebody for like 30 minutes and hire them on the spot. That's like getting married right off the first date. Come on.
And then what also happens is that people are like, I'm not going to train you, Richard, until the 30 or 60th day because I don't want to invest the money. I want to see if you're going to stay. Oh, gee, thanks. Like, I'm feeling really valued in your company. And that's a really great way to start. No, why don't you have a better process where you're so excited? I've taken people through this program, Richard, and you know what happens? I've had this lady, one of my clients said that she was interviewing this woman, and this woman's husband, who had his own business, was so impressed with what this woman was doing for her, like what she had to do to interview for my client's company, that he stole the process and put it in his own company because he was so impressed about like the stages and how carefully constructed they are. It's not like, you know, this is the song that doesn't end. You know that, right? So that's how a lot of hiring processes also feel like, right? It's like, oh, it's another step and another step and another step. And I don't know when this thing is going to end. So it's either 30 minutes hope and a prayer or forever and ever and ever and ever and ever, where it really doesn't draw back to what you want, right? Or what you're looking for. So if you don't know what you're magnetizing out there, what you're looking for, then you're going to get anything back. And that doesn't work. And then people literally say, there's no one that wants to work. There's no one that wants to hire that has work ethic. You know, it's just not true. And usually I can tell off the bat, I'm like, your hiring process needs a little help. And the thing is if you're willing to do that hard work, and quite honestly, it's hard because you have to do a lot of self-reflection. Your business is a reflection of you, right? Your business is based on.
Can you say that one more time louder? It's a reflection of you.
Your business is a reflection of you. It's based off of your values and your beliefs. Okay. If you are so disorganized and all over the place, chances are your hiring process is. If you can't communicate and articulate, or boundaries, hey, Richard, I really like you. I want you to work for us. I want to be really clear. This is what we need and this is what we don't need. And you mentioned this, and I'm wondering if, right? Like people think they can just ask questions and people are going to give them like the absolute truth. You have to be a detective and you have to do it like in a roundabout way, you know, like there's a lot of different things. And so what my method's done over the years is it's created that two-way street. By the time you get to like that step 7, that person is like so excited to hear back from you. And it's no longer like, oh, you're one of the 10 people I put an application in with. Oh, which one are you again? No, they're like, you're the top of my list. I cannot wait to work with you. You are just so cool. And that's literally what I've been able to perfect over the years with hundreds of businesses that I've helped do this with. And like I said, AI has accelerated this process so much where, you know what, I don't have to spend 6 months with someone going back and forth creating this anymore. We can do it in like 6 sessions now. So it's like, it's so remarkable. And then what happens is when I work with people, they're like, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could do that. And they learn the AI strategies too. I just clocked one of my people this week. I had my VA pull our transcript. She said, wow, 18 times in 90 minutes. That is wow every 5 minutes we were on.
Shit, that's like me all the time. What's up, brother? What's up, sister?
Yeah, but this was wow.
Wow.
About what we were actually building in her company.
That's amazing.
At the end of our session, she had it. It wasn't like, oh, go do your homework and go stare at the cursor and go try to figure it out or go talk to ChatGPT and give me everything ChatGPT. No, that's not the way you do it. We do it together. We get dirty together. You know?
I love it, Bella. Okay, so I'm going to ask you the $1 million question, which this is very controversial. Is AI. People say no, AI is biased. Can you explain to us? They're like, well, I don't want to use AI in my hiring process because it's biased.
Right. Well, I mean, it depends on how you use it, right? There is going to be, it's like, this can literally kill people, right? I mean, people could say that. It's all in how you use it. AI is a spectrum, Richard. And there are so many things that you could get into. And so just being like, it's biased, how? How is it biased? We're not having it make decisions for us. If you use AI in a way where you say, hey, these are my values, my beliefs, and I've interviewed you already for 45 minutes to figure out what your core values are, what your avatars are, what your branding, voice and all this stuff is, I now have the best version of you. And I can say, hey, AI, we want to do apples, bananas, and oranges. Make it sound like us based off of our values. Now you're using it correctly. Okay. What people do is they just go into a free ChatGPT, or maybe they go into their paid ChatGPT and they think, oh, it knows me because I talk to it all day long. No, it really doesn't, because we haven't given it the guardrails. We haven't set up the project, the gem, the style, the GPT, whatever, pick your poison on whatever app you're using. Personally, I love Claude.
Plug for Claude out there.
And then you use it. So when I say AI with hiring, I'm not talking about scanning for keywords in a resume. I'm talking about helping build the structural foundation of the house that you're going to start building, the walls and the plumbing and the electrical and all this stuff. And that foundation is going to hold that up because it's going to be stress tested. And when it stops working, because algorithms change, you're going to be able to see, because it's all like broken down. You're going to be able to say, oh, step 4, that's where people are starting to drop off now. 6 months ago, it was working. Yeah. Well, guess what? Things change. And when you have it, and when you have it done out like that, you can pinpoint exactly what you need to change. And it's beautiful. It all of a sudden gives the business owner this level of pride and this level of confidence in their hire. Now they're hiring people not on a hope and a prayer and saying, oh my gosh, I hope they work out. They're going to say, I know this person is amazing, and I can't wait for them to get started. And I can't wait to introduce them to my clients and the rest of the staff, because I know they have the qualities that matter to my team. But when you're doing a 30-minute interview and you're just asking a whole bunch of questions you got off of Google, or you're trying to put them through hoops just because someone told you to put them through hoops, but you have no idea what the hoops are actually doing. Okay, I can hula hoop. Does that help me with a plumbing job? No. Right? So it depends. Biased depends. I would say that you are the biggest bias.
Say it again now. The human is the bias person.
You are the biggest bias by not having an open mind and testing different things and seeing what. I already stress tested my methods. I've battle tested my methods. And that's all I do, is I help small businesses with this all day long.
So my question to you is, why won't they use this? Like, they want to scale. Okay, Bella. So companies want to scale and they go for sales first, and they always go for hiring last. That's like one of them things. It's like, oh, I'll hire, but they just slam somebody in there, just like you talked about. Yeah. Why aren't they scaling with the hiring first?
Because it's depressing. Because it makes them feel like a loser. Because it makes them feel like they can't lead. Because it holds up a gigantic mirror to the things that you're deficient in, to what you need to work on.
That's an ego thing.
And that's really difficult, because when you don't just need to hire, you also need to do payroll. You also need to take care of your sick kid who the school nurse called out this morning. You also need to get your newsletter out. You also need to get back to your staff on the new SOP that you're implementing because you changed your workflow. You want to go the path of least resistance. That's why. And so when you take the time to invest with yourself, or like, we work for like a series together and we build this out, now all of a sudden you're not avoiding it because it doesn't have a lot of friction, because you have the confidence in your system and you know that your system represents you and your business and your company culture. Okay. That's why people do that, because we don't want to do. Why do you avoid going to the gym if you're not a gym rat?
It makes sense.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
It's not everyone wants to complicate things more than they need to be. And we don't need to complicate it. That's what it comes down to. Like I said, I could literally talk to someone for like a minute about their hiring process and know immediately, because I've done this day in and day out.
And the thing is, though, they don't blame themselves. They blame the candidate didn't want to show up for work, or, and I know bosses right now, people I work with, is like, well, I'm lucky they lasted 2 weeks. Like, why would you think that way?
Well, when you think that way, that's what you're going to attract. That's science. Okay. I won't get into like what a lot of people feel like is woo woo, but it's science. Yeah. Okay. It's literally science. And so when you're excited and you're proud of your company and you are carefully constructing this dating before you get engaged and married, okay, you're building these layers of confidence and trust where, like I said, they're like, oh, I can't wait to hear back from Richard. Like, I really, like, I can't put all my eggs in one basket, but when he emails me back, I am so excited to reply to whatever he needs for the next thing. And you're also casting a vision. You're saying, hey, this is what our interview process looks like. And you're giving them that vision so that they don't feel like they're just endlessly replying back to you. I mean, and then there's so many details in these 10 steps. And there's also a way to handle when people, and I know you've talked about this before, when people reply using AI, okay, that's not always bad either. But like, are we addressing like, hey, Richard, like, this is what my hiring process looks like. I know you're probably going to use AI, but let me tell you right now some ground rules. Here's how this is going to go. We love that you use AI because we use AI in our business, and we're actually looking for forward-thinking people who aren't afraid of it. However, in this interview process, this is what we require. You know, so don't just go copy and pasting something from ChatGPT. And those requirements change with every business. But like, we can't just like think that, you know, the elephant doesn't exist in the room. We need to acknowledge it and not get mad about it. And so it's all this mindset of the overwhelmed, stressed out business owner. And that's where literally I come with this energy alongside people.
I love the energy. Holy cow. How many cups of coffee do you have, Bella?
Excited about their business again. Like if you could hire people and your churn rate went down, right? And all you really did have to focus on was marketing, because you knew you could press this lever and you could have someone hired and trained, onboarded and trained within 2 weeks. What would that change for your business? And then not have to live off hope and prayer and then hope in 30 or 60 days they're still here, right? Like that's no way to live. Your system is defunct. It's a system and a mindset problem, and I'm here to solve it.
I love that. Okay, so data, because I know with a lot of hiring processes, they don't have any data when they hire somebody. And just like I said again, here we go with the gut. Please explain to people, you have to have some data behind this when you hire somebody.
Absolutely. So I love using Breezy. If you go to jumpconsulting.net/Breezy, it's an online applicant tracking system. And I like them because they actually cater to small businesses. And that's where my niche is. My niche is small businesses. It's not enterprises. And so with all of their things that they have in there, when you break out these steps that have been built off, the steps that have been made for an applicant tracking system, because you cannot be doing this in your email or in Indeed's email. Like that's crazy. That's absolutely crazy. And I'm going to say that right now. And it might really like piss people off.
No, I like that. Go for it. I mean, seriously.
But the thing is that anytime something bothers you, you got to figure out, why does it bother me? Because I'm challenging you. I'm speaking directly to you if you're one of those people. But you don't know what you don't know either. And so that's why when you have a framework that you can rely on, that data and that analyzing it can really help you understand, oh, you know what? This job ad works better than this job ad. And let me tell you, the job ads, those are love letters. Yeah, you have to be compliant and you have to do certain things, but that doesn't mean that you have to dumb down your fun business or whatever it might be, right? Or your company culture to be like sterile, stark, gross, like with no links to like, you want to see what it looks like a day in the life of being, you know, a housekeeper with us or something, and then a link to a reel, because you have connected your marketing to your hiring to bring a 360 view. That's going to get people excited. Yeah. Then something else that's just like, ugh. And so you test all these different ads and all these different headlines and all of these, you test everything. And when you have an applicant tracking system, you have the data to know this is what works, this is what doesn't work. And when things stop working, you know where it stops working, because it's been like, it's like an accordion, it comes out. Does that make sense?
No, it does.
Yeah.
Seriously, I mean, I love what you said there, because I think some of the ads are so boring out there. Why would you apply for a job? It says, oh, you know.
Think of it like if you were to be like, I'm going to use pet sitting, for example.
Go for it.
I need a pet sitting client. You better pay on time. You better book at least 1 week in advance. You better tip my staff at least 25%. And your dog better never jump on me ever. Unfortunately, we do that when we're looking for.
Hey, Bella, by the way, I'm falling asleep on the podcast.
Well, not only falling asleep, but it just feels like you must. Like that doesn't get anyone excited. And your hiring process is marketing. It is marketing.
Can you say that again? Because in our industry and staffing, I got to tell you straight up, the job descriptions are so boring. I keep saying I got to bring video to it.
Marketing. It's your job to make people want to work for you.
Yes.
I mean, think of the Googles of the world. You already know if you work for Google all the perks because you've heard
The
about it.
experience
Because
you're
they
going to
have the
get. Yeah.
culture that exceeds them. You don't have to necessarily be Google. You're just a small business,
Mhm.
But it's like why would I want to work for you? Have you ever asked yourself that? Why, if you looked at your ad and said, why would anybody be excited to apply for this job, let alone remember that they applied for this job while they were also applying for 10 other jobs? Because got news for you.
You're not
They're
the only
not only
one.
dating you, they're dating everybody else. They swiped on everyone else
They're
too.
viral dating.
Seriously. So when you think of it this way, and this is what I love doing in everything I do, is just a mindset
Yeah.
reshape, right? When you look at it from another area, because as small business owners, we are overwhelmed. We have our own life and we're wearing so many hats, and it takes someone that's excited and knowledgeable from another angle to come in and breathe life and light into your organization.
Man, woo, look at the energy we got today. Okay, so I got to ask you on a hiring process, how many interviews should there be? I mean, sometimes there's one, and then sometimes there's like 9, which is, come on, you're meeting like
There should most
7 people.
definitely be more than one. In
Mhm.
my standard thing, I've got like 3 emails that go back and forth, and they have their own little thing. And then we have 2 Zoom interviews. And they all have distinct reasons for it, but it gets to a point in my process where we don't just offer the next one. We say, I want you to go home and think about it. And if you're still interested, let me know in 24 hours. You'd be so surprised how that little
Ooh.
tripwire, how many times someone that you just think is like the best, you're going to get married with them, you're going to go off into the sunset, everything's going to be great. You never hear from them again.
Nope.
Or you do, but it's not in 24 hours, it's in 48 hours. And then everybody usually, because they're so overwhelmed by the emotion, they're like, oh, but whatever their excuse was, it's okay. I'm not going to hold my boundaries. Okay, let's do it, Richard. And then you find out 30 days later, the same thing that they just showed you who they were came up again. You just didn't trust yourself enough. So now this is where it gets uncomfortable again, because we're talking about boundaries and communication and reflecting out, like these are the rules and these are the things, and you didn't do them. And as much as I really want you to work for me, you just broke the rules. Like you didn't, like I put this boundary up and it didn't happen. But having those two-way things in certain parts of the interview is important, because like I said, it's not just you liking them. If you don't have that, what happens, Richard, is you go and you hire someone, you go through orientation, you go through training, and then all of a sudden they go, oh, actually, I'm going to get a job with another person. Well, the reason is because you chose them. They didn't necessarily chose you. See what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be a two-way street.
Do you think a lot of hiring managers are desperate? I mean, sometimes it's
Absolutely.
like,
And it's understandable why they're desperate, because they post something on Indeed, they go through a flurry of applications, they start getting depressed. It feels like nobody wants to work. Like, I understand why they feel that way. I've been there. Okay. My clients have been there.
yeah.
But then once you have, like, if you're doing it on Indeed, you're already wasting your time. An applicant system will at least have some knockout questions, and that's different for everyone, like how much you wanting to make 1,500 or 15,000 a month. Okay, if you're looking for 15,000 a month, that's not for you.
Okay, so Bella, real quick on that.
Yeah.
So let's go back to that, because a lot of people don't like to post the salary on the job. They want to keep it secret. You like it right off the bat, right? I mean, let's just be transparent.
I like a range. Are you looking to make between $1,000 to $2,000? I'm just throwing out round numbers, right?
Yeah.
And then in the knockout questions, before you even get to see their applications, you need to have those screening questions, so that the only thing that you're looking at are actually people who maybe, and again, this is just an example. Okay. This isn't for everyone. Maybe they live in the area, they have transportation, they're available certain hours. Like, they're verifying this. Okay. And then they're verifying it again later on in the process, if those really are your non-negotiables. Like, you got to work holidays, or you need to work weekends, or whatever that might be. And so everyone, and that's why it's so important at the beginning to figure out, what are our non-negotiables? What are we really looking for? Aside from this ChatGPT job ad that it just cranked out for us, that is just boring and not sexy. Right. So it's it just varies with everybody. But in short, yes, to answer your question.
No, I love that. And you know what? I think there's a big disconnect because somebody else posts the job and then the hiring manager is somebody totally different.
Yeah.
So they don't even know what they posted.
Yeah, you need to get everyone on the same team. And that's where the standardized scoring system also comes into play. And it's not black and white. Like sometimes we'll have scoring systems where it's like, okay, answer these questions for me. And it's not a matter of if the answer is right or wrong. It's the thought process behind it. And that's what we're evaluating. And again, it's different for everybody, but this is why it's important to take the time to build out these systems. You see? And it's not the same for every position. You know, when you're hiring an office manager for your busy plumbing or roofing or landscaping company, right? That's going to be different than the technician. And it's not going to be the same hiring process. It's not going to be the same things you're testing for. It's going to be all different.
Man, there's a lot that goes into the hiring process and people just don't get it, you know? So the biggest question I got to ask is, why aren't we changing? I mean, you're saying this out there. I mean, everybody keeps saying
it's hard. It's overwhelming. It's completely overwhelming to sit down and do this, to have a framework where people don't talk about frameworks, right? Like this has been what I've created is something where when I've helped business owners years after years after years after years and realize what works and doesn't work. When you're a business owner, you started this business because you were good at whatever it was that you were doing, right? Or you bought into it or something like that, right? It wasn't because you also knew how to hire people and manage people. Yeah. Most of the time, like, and that's what, like, when people acquire businesses, I look at them and people are like, you know, should I make this investment, Bella? I'm like, well, you do realize your job is going to be managing people and hiring people, right? That's what it is. And maybe I have a really good SEO person, right? Like, I just want to be clear about this. Like, don't get twisted that, you know, you're going to be hanging out with puppies and kittens all day. If you're a good business owner that's scaling, say, a pet sitting company at $2 million, you ain't going to be hanging out with the dogs, walking them during the day. You're going to be managing the people that do. And that is your job, you know? But you might have that fire about pets, but you're going to be managing the people. And you need to know how to manage yourself first. People don't do the hiring process, so they don't know what they don't know. And that's why they need shows like this and people like us to breathe life into them. And now everybody has a choice. Now you watch this. Now you know. Now you know that there's proven methods out there and you have a choice. And maybe it's the time for you to do the choice. Maybe it's not the time for you to do the choice. Because I also believe, Richard, that everyone is in life cycles of business. They're in the hustle mode. They're in the relax mode. They're in the creative mode. They're in the build mode. Like everyone, and we're not all ready to hustle and scale at the same time. And that's okay. It's totally okay. But when you're ready to stop making the wrong decisions or having the same problem over and over and over again, when you really have had enough is enough. Hi, my name's Bella. I'd love to help you.
It's okay to ask for help, right, guys? Yeah. Come on, get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Well, Bella, I got to tell you, that was a lot to take in. I love it. Seriously, you kept it raw and real. I mean, seriously, where can they reach you at?
BellaVasta.com or anywhere on the internet, Bella Vasta. You can DM me. I can actually give you, I have an infographic for these 10 steps. So just find me anywhere. I'm on Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn. I'm on Instagram. And I like to connect with people. I'm not going to give you a link that says, like, give me your name and email and spam you. Like,
that's shit.
Literally reach out, say hi. Like, it's not hard to find me online. Bella Vasta. And just DM me and tell me, hey, I heard you with Richard and I'd love that infographic. Or tell me your worst hiring story, because those are always entertaining too.
Oh my, that's for like a whole day. Can you
could even send me a voice note. No,
oh boy. I'm going to wrap it up like this. Okay, so everybody out there in your hiring process, it's time to get a gut check with Bella. A gut check. And I'm going to do it, Bella. Oh, that hurt, man. That was a total, excuse my language, effing gut check for me. So at the end of the day, if you guys need some help, you need to call Bella Vasta here. I got to tell you, Bella, thank you so much. The energy, I got to tell you what, you out-energized me today. You were like the Energizing Bunny.
Look at that.
Holy cow, because I was just taking it all in. You know that from our prep call?
Yes.
Man, you had so much to say. Like I said, that's a wrap for this time. But remember, you got somebody to help you out with the hiring. You know who it is? Bella Vasta. Take care, Bella.
Bye, guys.
See you guys.